Many unanswered questions remain at Kaiser Chiefs in terms of regarding the departure of their current mentor and coach Nasruddin Nabi, and of course uh, the talks of not forgetting the talks of betrayal from his assistants, with many sources with inside the camp citing that the coach and his his technical members of his technical side that is, would from time to time exchange words in their home language. Currently underway, currently about to kick off in less than 7 minutes. For not forgetting, we have Brentford hosting Manchester United at the GTEC Community Stadium. Here's how the sides line up with Kaimon Keller on goals, Michael Cato, Sepp van der Berg, Nathan Collins, Aaron Hickey, Jordan Henderson, Yahoo Yamaluke, uh, Mikhail Damsgaard, Dango Ouattara, Kevin Shed, and of course Ego Tiago. While the Red Devils will start off with a relatively familiar face in Brian Mbuemo, who starts against his former side since that record-breaking transfer of £71 million, moving from Brentford to Old Trafford. At goal, it's Binder, or it will be backed by Diego Dallo, and defense with Matthias de Ligt and Harry Maguire. Not forgetting Bruno Fernandes, who plays as a holding midfielder with Matthias Cunha, Jeremy Doku, Brian Boemo, Luke Shaw, Manuel Ugarte, not forgetting Benjamin Sheshko, Benjamin Sheshko. With the absence with Casemiro sets this one out following his red card against Chelsea in the 2-1 win last week at Old Trafford, or with Chelsea yet to taste victory at Old Trafford since the year 2014. Good afternoon, welcome to it. This is All Things Football, Football Unpacked. My name is Apiwe Roto. Interact with me on Facebook, All Things Football, Football Unpacked. I'll load the video as soon as the episode is done. We're left with an hour. We got with me. There's a lot to talk about. We have to squeeze the episode in an hour so we can fit it on all your social networks. We're unable to load the episode from last week because it had exceeded 60 minutes. For that, I apologize. I take full accountability as I'm the one behind everything. Therefore, I apologize sincerely to you, soccer fanatics. Continue to like the page, All Things Football, Football Impact. Not forgetting, of course, to subscribe to YouTube, All Things Football, Football Impact. We're also on Instagram at All Things Football underscore 14. Not forgetting TikTok at All Things Football underscore 14. Like, comment, and share. Let's talk about news making headlines in the world of football and the last week. And of course, not forgetting the Kali Knockout was launched last week. The Kali Knockout, which kicks off next week on the 4th of October and the 5th of October. It was launched at the Gold Rush Dome with the draw, which I'll provide you with the fixtures you can expect as far as that game is concerned. In other news, we've had another casualty in Graham Potter following a not so good start, as who has been relieved of his duties at the Hammers in London. Therefore, West Ham United will be playing their team without playing their next fixture without a mentor. Well, we can reveal, according to Supersport, that Adidas is with the first story start relating to Bafana Bafana, who are said to be with Adidas rather, said to be the front runners to replace French campus sportswear brand Lacoste Sportif as Safa's technical sponsors. Now, we speaking to the South African Football Association CEO, Chief Executive Officer Lydia Manyebao, revealed that without giving away too much, their new sponsor will be launched. Will be presented first to the NEC, that being the National Executive Committee. They have the final say in what stays and what goes. The road with Puma and Nike and Puma and German giants, who are no strangers to Safa, also joining the party. Not forgetting Macron, who also joined in the fight. Kappa, also no strangers to the national team. They were the very first SAFA technical sponsor, national team's technical sponsor in the early 90s from 1992 to 1998. Not forgetting that memorable moment when those memorable moments when we won the Africa Cup of Nations rather on home soil in 1996 and went to our first went to the first World Cup as Bafana in 1998. And a statement made by the CEO, it states that in a process, this is a process we started over a year ago when we knew that like Sportif was gonna the Lecoq Sportif sponsorship was going to come to an end. It's just a matter of announcing now as we are waiting for the National Executive Committee to endorse our sponsor. Now, Adidas are no strangers to Bafana, but as they were partners from 1998, if you can track back, that's if, of course, you've been following the game for that long. If you are still young, you might be behind on this one. 1998 till 2011, when Bafana Bafana were sponsored by, when our South African national teams were sponsored by Adidas, we went with Puma. However, Puma ended the relationship following the story behind the match fixing scandal going into the 2010 World Cup, where ABSA also removed the sponsorship. In a statement, it goes to show we have been looking for brands like Shield and Vaseline to come on board to back our junior and senior national team. Honor has joined the party. The cell phone company Honor has joined the party, and that because we look to the corporate space to fund various national team programs. He states that she goes on Manyabal goes on to state that these new sponsors are relieving the pressure of SAFA with so many unfunded programs that require money for camps and international matches. Now the under 20 side who won the under 20 AFCON in early May are currently in Chile facing where they're going to take on France, the United States, where they've been paired with France, the United States, and of course New Caledonia is in the game they'll be playing tomorrow evening. Kickoff for that fixture is at 2200. We'll be watching. We wish the boys all the best. Speaking of Bafana, they've moved one spot up to from number 56 to number 51 while joining the top 10 as far as the continent is concerned. Brand manager of Shields, Gareth Marshall, admits that the impressive results of Coach Hugo Broos's team and prospects of qualifying for the World Cup are just as attractive to them as a sponsor. On to our other stories, Siwelele have confirmed that they've confirmed this departure of coach is the CEO's chief executive officer and Stan Matthews, and of course the assistant coach in Andre Aronsa following a poor start to the Betway Premiership season. Not forgetting that they started the season on a very good note with that convincing 3-1 win. Club chairman Kevin LeJohn confirmed the departure of the CEO and the assistant coach. In a statement reading, "We parted ways with our CEO, Stan Matthews, and our assistant coach in Andre Aronse," which he said in an interview on the club's website. "They have been great men to work with, but I cannot in good conscience keep them on board with their lives and their families. Their lives are threatened on a daily basis. We're also going to terminate the contracts of various players who have not shown the heart and willingness to fight for this team." Now, what do you think is what could be happening at Siwelele right now? There's been complaints of instability because they played some of their matches at the Dobsonville Stadium, which was their adopted stadium, and of course the Lucas Masterpieces Morepe Stadium. Remember, Siwelele came into existence after they brought the status of Supersport United at the time, after Supersport United took a knock from the financial perspective. Still moving on to our other story, Swedish tactician in and Mark Allen has expressed willingness to take control of Kaiser Chiefs as a coach. Speaking exclusively to our local public news publication in Soccer Latuna, he went on to state that his coaching experience and philosophy could be a strong fit for the Nigeria base side, stating in a statement, "I do believe that a team like Kaiser Chiefs is very unique in terms of what they have achieved and of in terms of what they have achieved in South African football. He says, goes on to say that this is something that a coach needs to understand and build from. I understand that for a coach to succeed at a big club like that, one has to do the right analysis. If you are a good analyst, you can produce the right results, but if you fail to read situations correctly, then chances are you will make the wrong decisions. The Swedish tactician emphasized the importance of consistency, structure, and player development as building blocks to a winning side, underlining the holistic approach, which covers tactics, physical preparation, transition, and injury prevention, saying that you cannot practice defense or of only offense. You must work on transitions to explains the print. He goes on to say further, the principles must be cleared so that everyone in the team understands their role. Now, understand the role, the idea of players understanding their role is so that player we eliminate the idea of players being played out of position. If you go as players, as a coach, you have to bring everyone with you, staff, players, and the club, because it doesn't work if people are divided. Hence, unity is key. You have coaches who speak well of. You need a coach who will speak well of their team. This is not a teammate, it's brotherhood. These are not teammates, they're brothers, or there's a group of friends. Those talks come in very handy. That's how you build a team. It goes on to say, it's not my job to chase assignments, that's for my agent and the people who contact me, he noted. But if Kaizer Chiefs are interested in my profile, I'll be glad to sit down and listen. Kaizer Chiefs are a big club with a big history. For me, it's like working with a national team, and I've been in that environment. It's a project I believe could be a good fit, and I'll be honored to help the club back to its glory days. He holds a pro UEFA Pro license. He's a UEFA Pro license technician of with over 20 years, having worked across Europe and of course Africa. And his resume includes guiding clubs to runners up, third place, and of course winning three league titles with a wide mixture of a wide mixture of experience in technical teams in Europe and particularly Sweden. He's also a youth developer. It's all about academy, saving four clubs from relegations, earning the reputation of a savior coach. His background in scouting and player development is extensive, having worked both in Sweden, Spain, and Portugal, and the United States, of course, while also helping African players break into Europe, including some of the Premier League and Major League Soccer sides. We move on to with that story with that story out of with that story out of the way. We move on to our other story. Mamelodi Sundowns have required the signature of a new midfielder in Nuno Santos. Nuno Santos, the club the story a signature which the news rather, which the club announced on during midweek. Now we saw Nuno Santos, the 26-year-old Portuguese international, play on Tuesday. No, Wednesday, I beg your pardon, and the odd goal lost to Golden Arrows on Wednesday during Heritage Day. We just looking for the story. Now this is where my stories come from. Hence, the transition is a bit slow. Therefore, this story came on the deadline. Remember, the transfer deadline for the PSL closed off on Monday, the 22nd of September, as is per statement. Premiership champions Mamelodi Sundowns have bolstered their squad with the signing of Portuguese midfielder Nuno Santos from Bongani Zungu's former club, and Vitória Guimarães SC of Portugal. In a statement they wrote, Masandawana is proud to welcome Portuguese midfielder to the club, they announced on their social media company of X. Now, the 26-year-old has racked up 90 appearances for Vitória Guimarães. For Victoria Guimaraes, he's provided 8 goals and 16 assists. Now, Santos is also represented by the likes of Bagos Ferreira, Boavesta, and Moreno, and he played for the likes of Bagos Ferreira, Boavesta, Moreno, Moreno, Rense, and also spent a season in the Major League in the United States with Charlotte, which is most likely in the United States Second Division. The attacking midfielder becomes the third player to join Mamelodi Sundowns in the transfer window following the signatures of Fawaz Basedin and of course Kasia Tsiki Tsibeleng. While in the other stories, Zakele Siwelele FC, I beg your pardon, have acquired the signature of Zakele Basa, who joined on a free after he was released by Orlando Pirates and has been without a club ever since, with the window having closed at 12 midnight on the 22nd of April. While at the same time, Orlando Pirates have agreed to send Sepa Mashilana on loan to Skukune United for the remainder of the 2025-2026 campaign. Now he's been on the radar of many sides, most likely Durban City. Gavin Hunt, who had actually worked with a young lad, 29-year-old, at Supersport United, expressing his desire at the forward, the former TS Galaxy forward. Meanwhile, 23-year-old Tsepo Mashilwane will join from second tier Baroka FC, where he is captain of the club. It also attracted suitors. However, he's struggling to find game time under new mentor in Abdeslam Wadu. Therefore, he moves to Limpopo to join Babina Noko on a loan move, considering that he's going to be deemed a convenient replacement for, of course, the injured Tsepo Matsimbi, who's out on a long-term injury. We're currently underway as Brentford hosting Manchester United, and it looks like Brentford have drawn first blood with a goal from Ego Thiago netting the first goal. Therefore, Man United trailed by an odd goal in a space of 7 minutes of the game, which kicked off at 13:30, 1:30 Central African time. On to our other story. Coach Raymond Daga, who's now in Chile getting ready for the Under-20 World Cup, had expressed uncertainty of surrounding left back Tato Sibia going into the World Cup, but we're still hopeful that they'll still let him go as time commences. After this came from an interview which took place at Hyde Park where the players were had a farewell dinner. We also saw the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, in attendance. In a statement, he read there are some of the things one would not want to discuss, especially with how we receive treatment from other teams. Even now, we are not sure if we're going to leave with him or not. The challenge is once you register a player under FIFA, the process of deregistering should be through medical results. These are little challenges we are facing, but we are crossing our fingers. We'll have 21. Coach Mda told medias. The replacement is a process is a serious problem. If it's a team that does not want to give a player what should be done in terms of FIFA, the team Sundown should write a letter and you take that to FIFA as evidence in terms of replacement. If it happens, if it happens of their regulations, we've got a pool of 35 players, so we are good at any replacing any player, provided it qualifies for what FIFA wants. Amashita are in at the World Cup at Group E, where they will play France, the United States, and of course New Caledonia, who are from Australasia. Another player who will be missing out is Orlando Pirates centre back and Mbigizeli Mbogazi, and not forgetting Chandre Campbell, who was also who just joined his new side in Club Brugge. Moving on to our next story, former Orlando Pirates winger Katlego Otladisa has moved to his former club, joining his former teammate Dabai Tetwan Ndlondlo, where both players joined the team joined Orlando Pirates from Batlani Bantwa and Limpopo, who are now based in Free State. With Otadisa becoming the 10th exit at Orlando Pirates at the end of August, the club confirmed that he would not renew his contract despite taking part in the preparations of the preseason. Therefore, the writing was on the wall that the 29-year-old spent the last 6 months at Sekhukhune United in a loan move that was not fruitful. Loan spell at Babinanoko also yielded lukewarm results, and he now becomes the 10th exit, with Gavin Hunt's Durban City having expressed interest. However, that did not come to fruition as he found himself making his way back to his former employers in Morumo Gallants alongside Dabai Teto Ndlondlo, who also joined after exiting Orlando Pirates. On to our other story, Kaiser Chiefs have also confirmed the departure of players Samkelo Zwane and Happy Mashiana to Siwelele FC on a season-long loan for the season 2025-2026 season. The Soweto based side announced the news on deadline day. The aim of the move is to help the two players get more game time and experience in a competitive environment after struggling to breaking into the starting 11. While Samkelo Zwane is regarded as one of Chiefs' most promising young players. He's set for a crucial spell away. His temporary switch is expected to aid his development as he looks to gain his first team experience, while Happy Mashiane has struggled to be a regular on the starting 11. However, will be looking to revive his form with consistent game time at Siwelele FC. Now, we saw Samkelo Zwane in the game against Orlando Pirates at the Toyota Stadium, where they lost by an odd goal from that Austrian Apollos goal. Came coming on as a substitute towards the end of the game. I wish the boys the best of luck. We are hoping they hit the ground running and find their way back into the good books of Kaiser Chiefs. Speaking, moving on to our other news, fanatics. If you like this, if you like, take a liking to the show, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Give me those thumbs up, comment, share, say something. Constructive criticism is also welcome. And of course, we are available on TikTok at all things football underscore 14. We are available on Facebook, like the page All Things Football, Football Unpacked. Not forgetting YouTube, where you can comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and that like but hit the thumbs up. Ring the bell for notifications of new episodes which come in every Saturday. The South Zimbabwean Football Association have confirmed the venue for the 2026 World Cup qualifier against South Africa, stating that they will be moving their home away from home clash to at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Now, if you remember clearly, there are teams that I must put it to you that there are teams that are playing away from their home countries. Reason being that those side stadiums do not meet either. They do not meet. Reason being their stadiums do not meet CAF or FIFA standards. You have Eswatini who play their home games at the Mbombela Stadium. You have Namibia and Madagascar who play their games in South Africa. No, Madagascar rather play their games at home now. They are back at home, while Zimbabwe played their games here at home in South Africa, including that 1-0 loss to Rwanda, which they played at the Orlando Stadium. While Sudan, who are currently going through a civil war, are now playing their football at the who are now playing their football in Mauritania after playing their football as part of the Mauritania, the league in Mauritania. Let's look. We seem to have lost the story here. Let's find the. Yes, we've got the story, which was confirmed on the side on the club, the national team's social media, confirmed by X in a statement reads ZIFA, which is Zimbabwean Football Association rather, confirms that the Warriors will face Bafana on match day 9 at the 26th of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1500 hours on the 10th of October. Now, this game was supposed to be played in Botswana. Now, this game was supposed to take place in Botswana and Francistown. However, according to Zimbabwe publication Soccer 24, who they've been playing their home games in South Africa. However, they wanted to take this one to Obedi Chilume Stadium in Botswana and Francistown. However, they were unable to do so due to a fixture clash with Botswana, set to play the host Uganda at the stadium just the day before the game against Bafana, which left Zimbabwe with option remaining South Africa as the only option where they could play their home game. Moving on to our other story, former like Golden Arrows forward and Knox 32-year-old Knox Mutiso rather has found a new home in Richards Bay at Richards Bay AFC. Now the 32-year-old Zimbabwean forward announced at the 32-year-old Zimbabwean international announced confirmed during the Colin knockout launch at the Gold Rush Dome in Johannesburg, just next to at Nasrec, just close to the FNB Stadium, stating in an interview with stating in an interview with SABC Sports that moving from one club to another, but in life anything can happen at any day. Now, I also read in a publication, Soccer Duma, where he did say that he did not get a full answer as to why his contract was not renewed. Therefore, he did leave. He did mention that he went on to mention that Kaiser Chiefs had approached them in earlier years. However, he was not keen on leaving Golden Arrows as he cited being happy there. He goes on to say, I'm just being grateful to wake up and get a job. Those ups and downs. I just wake up in the morning and train. I have a job and someone out there doesn't have a job and I have the opportunity again to showcase my talent. So I'm grateful. That is why you can't describe me every time I keep going. The Zimbabwean international expressed his gratitude to the Natal Rich Boys for providing him with an opportunity to pursue his passion for playing football. He goes on to say, I'm grateful to play for Richards Bay. I can't wait to play for them, he proclaimed to the media. Every now I'm telling the fans that they are going to get a good knocks and goals this season, maybe more against Kaiser Chiefs because he has a knack for scoring goals against Kaiser Chiefs. Then with Mango with experience we are playing back home in Richards Bay, as we know that the Natal Rich Boys, the stadium is now complete and ready to be in use. The Mhlatuza Sports Complex, which was closed down for renovations when they got promoted, therefore they used the Kings Welletini Stadium in Durban. However, they are now back at their original home ground at Umhlatuza Sports Complex. Then with Mango, with experience, we're still playing home. The news: Kaiser Man United have conceded a second goal to at the hands of Brentford. Brentford now lead Man United by 2 goals to nil at the GTEC Stadium. Ego Thiago netting a brace in a space of 20 minutes, with the first goal going in the 7th minute. In closing, Knox Motiswa stated that he would like to hit the ground running at Richards Bay so that he may be part of the Zimbabwean national team, which will be which will be going to the AFCON in December this year. There's no time in football; you must hit the ground running. The striker went on to add, I might go to AFCON. This is every player's dream. Now, Zimbabwe will be part of the Africa Cup of Nations, which will take place on the 21st, from the 21st of December to the 18th of January. And they've been drawn in Group B against Bafana, Zimbabwe, Angola, and of course, Egypt. Moving on to our next story, Ethan Brooks has joined other former TS Galaxy and Amazulu attacking midfielder Ethan Brooks has joined Greek side Panathinaikos FC. The Greek Giants confirmed on the the Greek Super League side confirmed on their social media, stating that the South African footballer who was born on the 1st of March in 2001, who plays as a midfielder, will be playing away from outside his home country for the first time. Brooks played for Amazulu FC from 2022. Making 83 appearances, netting 83 appearances, scoring 2 goals, providing 3 assists. where earlier he had featured for TS Galaxy with 39 appearances. He will be looking to make a return to Bafana Bafana, where we haven't seen him in a long time. After making his debut for the national team in 2021 during the COSAFA Cup. He will not be the only former South African top flight star to compete in Greece this season, as former Mamelodi Sundowns the duo of Marcus Escovel and Junior Mandieta, who played their football on are currently they playing their football at AE Kefisia. We wish the young man all the best. Or at only just 23 years old, wish him all the best of luck at his new assignment. We are excited on his behalf. All Things Football is excited on his behalf. We hope he will excel in his future endeavors. Moving on to our next story. Bafana Bafana head coach Hugo Bros has announced his preliminary squad for next FIFA World Cup qualifiers, which will be away to Zimbabwe and another one at home to Rwanda at the Mbombela Stadium. The list was released by the South African Football Association, which concludes the usual suspects: Mamelodi Sundowns captain Ronwen Williams. Kholiso Mudau makes a return along with Tebogo Mokoena, Aubrey Modiba, Botusi Obas, Tabana Mokoena, Akram Reynes, all featuring, while Pirates are also represented by Relebogile Mofokeng, Tito Patrick Masanganye, who returns from a groin injury which kept him out for a few weeks, including missing the MTN 8 final, which Pirates won by 3 goals to 0. Sipumbule and Nkosinatis BC have also been rewarded. Kaizer Chiefs have two representatives, with Tabiso Munyano is currently on the sidelines with an injury. Hopefully he'll be back by then. And of course, Mduduzi Shabalala, while Ashley Cupido, Devin Titus, and Tabo Mulaisane will be representing Stellenbosch FC. Let's have a look at the full list of the preliminary squad. The squad includes Ronwen Williams, Ricardo Goss, Sepochene, Darren Johnson, Ronaldo Lena, Kuliso Matau, Zuko Mdunyelwa, Taba Matuludi, Tabiso Monyane, Tabo Muloisane, Kulomani Damane, Mbegezeli Mbogasi, Aubrey Modiba, Ime Ocon, who plays his football for Hannover 96 in Germany in the second division, Samuel Kabini, who plays his football in Norway, Keegan Allen, Violet Lapa, Nkosinathi Sibisi, Malebongwe Khoza, Tebogo Mokoena, Luke Leroux, Batusi Obas, Talent Mbata, Spesihle Mkhize. We have Ndamorero Mapangule with Spelele Stole makes a return. Jaden Adams, Austrian Apollos, Kamogelos Belebele, Patrick Masonganye, Ikram Reyners, Mtutuzi Shabalala, Relebogile Mofokeng, Mohang Kota makes a return. Lyle Foster, Puso Tejane, Bongogutle Hlongwane, Tsepa Moremi, Mihlali Mayandela, who plays his football in Cyprus, Stellenbosch's very own Ashley Cupido, Evidence Mahopa, Sepombule, Geleto Mahala, not forgetting Devin Titus. Now, the preliminary squad will be trimmed to 23 in an announced squad announcement, which will be announced on Thursday, the 2nd of coming Thursday, on the 2nd of October. Moving on to our other stories, Cape Town City forward Jody Ashane has rejected the proposed move to Mamelodi Sundowns of before the transfer window closed on Monday, citing that the timing was off for the move was off, feeling that he's still looking forward to growing as a player and as a person, citing that the move will also hinder the process. While youngster will be looking to head to the I will join the under 20 is currently under at the the youngster is currently Chile at the under 20 FIFA World Cup, which is taking place in Chile tomorrow. The transfer window was closed on Monday. The move has since collapsed. Mamelodi Sundowns had planned to acquire the signature of the youngster before sending him to the University of Pretoria on loan for the remainder of the season. However, it is understood that he is cited that the move was untimely. Looks like Manchester United have pulled one back. Well, the score is now 2-1. However, the bees look unimpressed as they look good to surround the referee. In case you're missing that, you can catch that game on Showmax at the GTEC Community Stadium and your World of Champions and Super Sport Premier League. Benjamin Sesko seems to have pulled one back for Manchester United. The score is now said to be 2-1. Question is there a foul? The VAR will decide. We cannot dictate for VAR. I'll keep you abreast as in case of the happenings of that game if you on the road. Or remember, if you like the show, fanatics, this is your number one online football show. All things football unpacked. Here's what. Moving on to your new stories. Here's another one. Grant Johnson, goalkeeper, was a goalkeeper coach as Swelele is also headed for the exit as part of the technical team. Following the dismissals of CEO Stan Matthews and assistant coach and Andre Arensa, while former Bloemfontein Celtic defender in Willem Jackson was drafted into the backroom staff. He's also been part of the long-serving group at SuperSport United before the club was rebranded and was renamed Stellenbosch Siwelele FC. As the pressure mounts, mounting pressure on results has prompted Kevin John to restructure the technical team, retaining CM while surrounding him with new faces at the to carry the Celtic DNA. Now, the first indication was that Johnson had vacated his role. Came on site Tuesday night when Cyprian Musibe was listed as a goalkeeper coach on the team sheet and the 1-0 defeat to Orlando Pirates at the Toyota Stadium on Tuesday evening. It is understood that the former goalkeeper coach is in the former Orlando Pirates goalkeeper is in discussions with the club to finalize his departure, though many have suggested that there will not be an official announcement to address either his exit or Musibe's appointment. Now, Orlando Siwelele FC are currently second from bottom of the log with 8 matches in the Premier League, winning just once. Banking on as Coach CMA will be looking to rely on his fresh arrivals on the transfer window to turn their fortunes around, namely Zakele Baza, who will be wearing the number 40 jersey. On to our other story, the Premier Soccer League has launched the new season of the Carling Knockout for 2025, which kicks off on the 4th of September and will conclude on the 6th of December, just 2 weeks before the Africa Cup of Nations. The launch was conducted at the launch was conducted at the Gold Rush Dome at Nasrec Center, right in Nasrec rather. It was conducted at the Gold Rush Dome in Nasrec, close not too far from the FNB Stadium, or right next to the FNB Stadium, with Magesi being the Magesi game being the first game defending champions playing the first to come out of the pot in the draw, whereas they travel to Amazulu. In the fixtures, here are your fixtures that are going to take place. You can expect in the League Cup as far as next week's fixtures are concerned, as the Betway Premiership will be taking a break. Amazulu will be facing Magesi will be defending their title and will be traveling to Magesi will be defending their title to face off against 1992 winners in Amazulu, who won it then as the Coca-Cola Cup, where they beat Kaiser Chiefs by 3 goals to 1. Sundowns welcome Marimo Gallants in a repeat of what was last season's second semi-final, which Sundowns emerged victorious by 2 goals to 0. Stellies take on Kaiser Chiefs for the second time this season as the two sides renew their rivalry, while Orbit College will face off against CS Galaxy. Durban City take on Polokwane City. Richards Bay face off against Chipper United. Orlando Pirates welcome Siwelele, while Skugone United travel to Golden Arrows. On to our other story. On to our last story. Coach Miguel Cardozo has announced another arrival in the Mamelodi Sundowns side and on the deadline of the on the deadline of the transfer window, which took place on Monday, on the 22nd of September at midnight, where they announced the arrival of Miguel Reysinho, citing him as a valuable addition to the Betway Premiership defending champions. The Brazilians were on the receiving end of a 1-0 defeat to Golden Arrows on a Wednesday, ending their unbeaten run, leaving Skwele United, who are currently top of the table, yet to lose a game. The only side that is yet to lose the game. However, the Portuguese tactician has downplayed the loss, citing that it will not destabilize their campaign. In a statement during an interview, he stated to ACBC Sport that it was clear that we needed to reinforce the team and the front lines, and it was hard work. This comes after the departure of Lucas Ribeiro Costa, who has since departed for Spanish side. You can look up that story. We Now, the conversation regarding the departure of Lucas Ribeiro is a conversation for another episode, with many sides deeming him as ungrateful, while on the other side, despite the player citing that he would like to depart the Pretoria-based side, it was said that there were teams that expressed desire in the player. However, they rejected the player. They rejected the move on more than one occasion. It was clear we needed to reinforce the team in the front lines, and it was hard work until the last moment, because these players who have great up quality means that it is not easy to sign them. The business was difficult. I think everything is in order to announce them. From the start of the season, it has been difficult for us to introduce changes from the bench, but that will change soon. He did lament that not getting transfers over the line quicker he hindered the process, but added it's now important to focus on picking up points moving forward. Stating that he's not looking for someone to take the place of Ribeiro, more like looking for someone to enforce the team as a whole, citing that the side will develop into a different team, more collective than it's been in the past, because Lucas Ribeiro could solve problems alone, but he is the best. We just need to realize how capable we are right now. With Mamelodi Sundowns having struggled without their best player in last season, who was football of the season, Cardoso wants the squad to find a way of overcoming tough situations in the current campaign. That's all we have for our news this week. Remember, fanatics, if you like the show, remember to comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me what needs to be worked on. Remember to like the page on Facebook, All Things Football, Football Unpacked. We are available on TikTok at All Things Football _14. We are also on Instagram at All Things Football _14. Like the Facebook page, All Things Football, Football Unpacked. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Give us the thumbs up, and of course ring the bell for notifications of new episodes that premiere every week. Here's what happened last week, dating back from the 20th of September. Your results: Iskune United proved too strong with the late winner from Bradley Hropla, who stole it at the death, 2 seconds before the final whistle, to give Skune United Babina Noko a 1-0 win. So Stellies also going down by an odd goal to Richards Bay FC. Magesi FC proving too strong for Siweleleke, going back to winning ways by 2-0. Mamelodi Sundowns proved too strong from Durban City, coming from a goal down to win by 3-1, while Opit and Marimo Gardens could not be separated at the Olympia Park Stadium, playing to a 1-0 draw. Polokwane City proved too strong, winning and stealing it at the death against Chippa United by 2-1. In the Premier League, we saw the Merseyside derby kicking things off, with Liverpool proving to be too strong for Everton, winning by 2-1 to claim bragging rights in Liverpool. While back to winning ways for Leeds United, winning by 3-1 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Burnley and Nottingham Forest could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. Brighton also, and along with Tottenham, also could not be separated, playing to a 2-0 draw. West Ham, who are now without a coach, going down by 2-1 against fellow Londoners and Crystal Palace. Manchester United proved too strong. 10-man Manchester United proved too strong against 10-man Chelsea, who had drops at their goalkeeper, Rob Sanchez, sent off following after denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity, and Manchester United, who were without Casemiro, who was sent off following a second bookable offence. Sunday, the only game not to give us goals, saw Bournemouth and Newcastle play to a goalless draw, while Sunderland and Aston Villa played to a 1-0 draw. Arsenal and Manchester City also played to a 1-0 draw. Well, Tuesday we saw the only game provided with alternate policy making the difference between Orlando Pirates and Siwelele FC at the Toyota Stadium. And while on Wednesday, Junior City Dion decided things between some Mamelodi Sundowns and and Golden Arrows. With Golden Arrow had to help Golden Arrows hand Mamelodi Sundowns their first defeat of the season. Kaiser Chiefs' opener through Kanyisa Mayo uh, was cancelled by Jason Clifford, who hit the equalizer with a scorcher at the 69th minute. Stellies and Durban City was the only side game not to give us goals, playing to a goalless draw. Sigourney United and Chippa United also could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. TS Galaxy proving too strong for Amazulu, beating them by 3-1, while Richards Bay went back to winning ways when he continued their winning form, beating Magesi by an odd goal. Orbit College proving too strong for Polokwane City and finding their way by winning by an odd goal. Here's what you can expect today. Polokwane City will face off against fellow Polokwane side in the Sigourney United in a Polokwane derby. We're also expecting Golden Arrows facing off against Orbit College. Go for that fixture is at 17:30, while Mamelodi Sundowns and Richards Bay will face off at 2000 hours, along with Durban City taking on Magesi. Sunday, we'll see Siwelele FC facing off against Marumo Gallants. Chippa United will face off against Stellenbosch. English Premier League result fixtures will see Brentford in a game that's currently underway against Manchester United. Brentford leading by 2-0, with goals from goal brace from Ego Thiago. Leeds United will face off against Bournemouth in Gold Rush, along with Chelsea versus Brighton. Man City will take on Burnley. Crystal Palace will take on Liverpool. All those fixtures will kick off at 1600 hours in Central African time, while Nottingham Forest and Sunderland will face off at 6 p.m. Tottenham Hotspur and Wolves will face off. Well, kickoff for that fixture is at 2100 hours. Sunday we'll see a double header. Aston Villa taking on Fulham and kick off that match game that kicks off at 1500 hours, while Newcastle will take on Arsenal in a much anticipated blockbuster. Kickoff for that fixture is at 17:30, while Everton Monday Night Football also returns on Monday with Everton taking on West Ham United. Kickoff for that fixture is at 2100 hours. UEFA Champions League fixtures see Karat Almaty facing Real Madrid. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1900 hours. Atalanta take on Club Brugge. Games kick off simultaneously at 1900 hours before we see Olympic Marseille versus Ajax Amsterdam. Inter Milan face Slavia Praha. Chelsea take on Benfica. Galatasaray take on Liverpool. Pavos take on Bayern Munich. Bodo Glimt take on Tottenham Hotspur. Atletico take on Madrid face off against Eintracht Frankfurt, who are currently top of the Champions League table in the league phase. Wednesday sees Karabakh facing off against FC Copenhagen. Union Saint-Gilloise take on new Premier League Champions League returnees in Newcastle. AS Monaco face off against Manchester City. Borussia Dortmund take on Athletic Club. Napoli take on Sporting Lisbon, while Villarreal will face off against Juventus. Arsenal welcome Olympiacos to the Arsenal Stadium. FC Barcelona take on what should be an anticipated encounter, Paris Saint-Germain, who are the defending champions. We close off with Bayer Leverkusen taking on PSV Eindhoven. And that's all we have time for on All Things Football. Thank you in advance for watching this episode. Remember to do what you do best. Click that like button, comment, share the episode. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. All Things Football, Football Unpacked. Hit that follow on TikTok at all things football _14, Instagram all things football _14, Facebook like the page all things football unpacked. That's all we have time for on all things football. Currently underway. Remember to tune in to Brentford taking on Manchester United, with with Brentford leading by 2 goals. My name is Apiwe Roto. This has been all things football unpacked. Till next time, we're back again next week. The last one before we go into the international break. No no Premiership football next week, as we tap into the Carling Knockout Cup, the first round. Till then, let's give it a name and call it a day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.